Welcome, everyone. It is now time to review the April Standard Possession Order for 2025. This is obviously the Texas Standard Possession Order under 100 miles. In terms of a visitation month, April is pretty normal, not a whole lot to it. However, April is the month in which we designate our extended summer possessions. So I'm going to be a little long-winded in this one. Please stick with me. I will try to put the timestamps to where you can kind of fast forward to see any specific question you may have regarding the extended summer possession. So let's see what we have. This is a pretty normal month for the standard possession order in terms of who has possession between the non-custodial and the custodial parent. So we'll go through that first, and then we are going to end with a discussion of the deadlines to give notice for the summer possession. This is what makes April an extremely important month, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that y'all understand how that works. So non-custodial, your Thursday periods of possession are the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th of April, so you get all the Thursdays. Your weekend periods of possession, the first Friday of the month is the 4th, and the third Friday of the month is the 18th. Custodial parent, your weekends are the 2nd and 4th Fridays of the month, so you would get the 11th and the 25th of the month for your weekends. We have a holiday this year, Easter. Some orders will have a provision for Easter in them. If your order does not have a specific provision for Easter in it, then it is just going to be a regular weekend for the non-custodial parent. So it's pretty rare to see one for Easter in there, so I would expect most of you do not have the Easter period of possession specifically designated in your order. So that brings us to the notice provisions. So if you will look here, April 1st, this is the deadline for the non-custodial parent to give notice for the extended summer possession. So non-custodial parent, you have two options when you approach this date. If you want custom dates, you must give notice by this date. If you do not want custom dates and you just want July 1st to July 31st, then you do not need to do anything. You will get that automatically. That is the default. So if you want custom dates for your possession, you can do it in no more than 2 periods. So that means you can't select 3 separate periods to equal 30 days or 4. You can do 1 30-day period, or you can do 2 periods, but each one period has to be at least 7 days. So if you pick 2 different periods, one period must be at least 7 days. So you can do a 23/7, you can do a 22/8, you could do, whatever, a 20/10. It would equal your 30 days, and you can do no less than 7 days. So what they're trying to prevent is you going and selecting custom dates of 3 days here, 4 days there, 8 days here. They're trying to avoid that. So you get 2 periods, and they have to be at least 7 days long. So your minimum period that you select custom-wise would be 7 days. I hope that is clear enough for you. Now, let's talk about how to count the days, because every year I get the same question. How do we count the days? How do we count the days? All right, you're going to start on the day that you're giving notice for. So let's pretend that let's say that I want to give custom dates for July 7th to July 14th. So I'm going to start here on the 7th. I'm going to start counting on this day. So I'm going to put my cursor here. That's the start date. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. You see how I did that? I don't start counting on the 8th, so my designation is going to be, hey, I want July 7th through July 14th as my first custom period of possession. That's 7 days. That's the minimum I can do. So I take the 7 days, and then of course I would have 23 days later in the summer to pick out. I could do them in June, or I could do them later here in the month. But for that period of 7 days, to count correctly, I'm going to start on the day that I give notice for. I want July 7th to July 14th. So I start here, July 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ends on the 14th. So I would pick up this day at 6. So we'll say pick up this day at 6 p.m. the first 24 hours I would have the child would be here on the 8th, right? So I gave notice for the 7th through the 14th. The first full 24 hours would be the 8th. So I start here. 1 would be 24 hours. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I would end here with at 6 p.m. That is a seven-day period of possession. Now let's go back and look at what we are going to do for the custodial parent. Custodial parent, regardless of what the non-custodial parent does, meaning if they select custom dates or they do not select custom dates, in either case they get 30 days in the summer. So the 15th here, custodial parent, this is your deadline to choose your weekend inside the extended summer possession of the non-custodial parent. So let's say that the non-custodial parent picks the 7 days that I just discussed, so July 7th to July 14th, and then they pick another 23 days the week following that. So they start July 7th to July 14th, and then we're going to do starting on the 21st. I'm going to count this for y'all too, so you can see what it looks like when I count. So we're going to start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So the possession would end here. So now we know these would be the periods of possession. All right, so let's make them a little cleaner here. So as we're looking at this, these were the dates that I selected, custom dates. So custodial parent, when you're looking at this, you are thinking, all right, I want to steal a weekend inside of these possessions. That's what we're talking about here. Now, you get a weekend outside of these possessions, but we're talking about your deadline on April 15th to give notice for one weekend inside these extended summers. So what weekends do we have inside this extended summer possession? We have this weekend, 11th and 12th. We have the 25th, 26th. We have the 1st, the 2nd. We have the 8th and the 9th. All right, those are your weekends that you're going to be able to choose. So by April 15th, custodial parent, you are going to send notice to the other side. If they select custom dates, you are going to select one of these weekends. So you're going to say, okay, non-custodial, I want this weekend here. And it's going to start on Friday at 6, and it's going to end on Sunday at 6. There you go. Custodial parent, those would be the dates. Non-custodial, I'm using July 25th to July 27th is my weekend inside your extended summer possession. So I hope that's clear. I hope I didn't jumble that up too much. But let's say that we don't do that and that the period of possession is the default. All right. So I'm going to leave this custodial parent. You're going to pick this weekend because we know that the non-custodial parent, they did not select custom dates. So they are going to default to July 1st to July 31st. And so you would pick one of these weekends in here. So like we gave notice, you would still give notice for the 25th through the 27th, or the 18th through the 20th, or the 11th through the 13th. So that's how you do your notice for your summer possession. The final piece of this puzzle is that people say, well, what is written notice? Well, oral notice is telling somebody something, right? So if you tell somebody something, that's oral notice. Written notice can be in the form of a text, an email. You can do a letter, certified mail, return receipt requested, whatever you want. Whatever you choose to do, written notice, you have to prove, 1, that you sent it, and you have to prove, 2, that they got it. So if you're going to do a text, that's fine, but you would need a response from them saying, yeah, got it. Or if you do an email, you would need to have some kind of proof that they received it and that they know that that's the date. If you do certified mail and first class mail, which is probably the best option, they have to sign for the certified mail. And if they refuse to sign for the certified mail, you've also sent it first class mail, which means that the court will have presumed that they received it as long as you can show that this is their last known address. So I know that's a bit confusing, but written notice means means you're not giving it orally, you're giving it in writing. Typing can be writing, but you will need to be able to prove that at some point down the line. So get a response via text or email that they got it, or send it certified and first class mail, return receipt requested, and you can have the post office help you do that of any specific dates. That applies to you, a non-custodial parent, for your custom summer possession, and that applies to you as well, custodial parent, for your weekend that you are going to steal and designate by April 15th. All right, so I warned you I was going to be long-winded on that one, and I definitely was. I felt like a little bit I may have been talking in circles. So if I confused you more than you are already confused, right down there, comment and ask me a question, and I'll be happy to try and clear it up for you. But if I didn't talk in circles and it was clear, then fantastic. Have a great April, and I will talk to you all in May. And as always, remember to like the video and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Thank you.